Hello, this is Kelly, and it is Isolation Protocol Day 162, Tuesday, August 25th. Wow, 25th of August already. Summer's almost over. Okay, ooh, lots of news. It's been a week. Oh, sorry, my back is killing me. Actually, every bone in my body hurts. Um, If you've been paying attention to the news, you know that there are a lot of large fires burning around California right now. So my eyes hurt like crazy. My throat hurts. I've been coughing. My asthma is killing me. I have spent the last week, probably a little more than a week, barely able to move because I just can't get enough oxygen into my body. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. Um, The sky almost looked sort of bluish, more blue than usual today, so that's good. The particulate index, I forget the name of the word, uh, is still 149. 150 is going into the dangerous category. 149 is dangerous for people with sensitivities, which is definitely me. Uh, and it's been pretty much steady at about 140, 145 for the entire week. It occasionally will shoot way up if the wind shifts a little bit, but it's been bad. uh, yeah, uh, it's also been making me extremely nauseated. Uh, yeah, I made dinner last night, something nice and mild and bland, thinking that, okay, that I could at least eat, and after 2 bites, I gave it to the dog. Anyhow, good news. Let's go on to the good news. Ta-da! Yep, look at all those wonderful pages. Whee! Yeah, I have lots and lots of notes on these pages, but I have Girl Unseen back from my daughter who was reading it and giving me my uh, concept editing. So she pointed out a few missing scenes and some time continuation errors and things like that. So I got to get through this in the next 15 days so that I can send it to my editor on time. And, excuse me. Yep, turtle mug. Mm, I like this one because the turtles are 3D. All right, so what else have I been doing? Um, Last week I got a box. Yeah, this is how it came. Uh, the side was split out and badly taped with a piece of like package wrapping tape, the kind that you use to put wrapping paper on. But the booklet's in here at least. The booklet's in here at least. Um, it says that is made with a size 4.5 millimeter hook, but the size of those stitches, either that or she is extremely tiny. They must have blocked the heck out of this thing to get the stitches so huge. The knit pattern is the same. It is knit with size 8 knitting needles for a DK number 3 yarn. Very pretty, but again, those stitches are much, much larger than you would expect from a size 8 knitting needle. I checked the gauge. The gauge that they used, I have to use a size 10 knitting needle to get that gauge. So, I don't know. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Uh, Tissue paper that normally is wrapped up around the yarn was just wadded up in a ball. And one of the ball bands is missing, but at least both skeins are in there, even though they don't match each other. One is definitely much darker than the other. I unwound them. looked at them from different areas, different sections, and yeah, one is much, much darker than the other. So if I make one garment with it, I'm going to have to do that every other row thing so that they kind of blend a little bit. I hate doing that. Uh, the bonus that came with this was a Tunisian hook in a size that's way too big for this. But then again, maybe that's the size that they used. What did I do with it? And I had some yarn that I was wondering what to do with. I wanted to make a nice, dense tummy time mat, tummy time mat for a baby to rest on. So yeah, I'm doing it because the yarn is kind of busy, I'm doing it in just the absolute basic Tunisian stitch. So yeah, that's pretty close to what the yarn colors really are. It's really pretty, very, very nice. It's sorry about the condition of the ball band. I got it in the clearance rack, and this is what it looked like. Karen Jumbo, 12 ounces, number 4 medium, 100% acrylic. Recommends a 5mm knitting needles and 5mm crochet hook. For the Tunisian hook, um, I always go up at least 2 sizes. This is a 6mm, so and this is a really nice, dense, but still drapey texture with the Tunisian. So yeah, that's going to be a nice tummy time mat. Once I get the center of the mat done, I'm going to do a wide border, and I haven't decided if I'm going to use the rose color, if I can find a rose that matches it, or just do solid white. I do have the same yarn in solid white in my stash somewhere, and I think I have the rose color in the white also. And I know I have a matching pink, but you know, I'm not that into pink. I also made a project bag. Yay, project bag. It's a big one. It's for blankets. That's the one that I am putting the triangles in that I am making. So yeah, still working on those. I ran out of the cording that I usually use for a drawstring, so eventually this will have a drawstring. Um, I need to have a handle that I can throw over my arm because I walk. See, I can't even talk straight. I walk with 2 canes or a walker. Uh, all right, I got to get this. Okay, that was my hair got all messed up. That was my daughter calling. She always calls. Puts the phone on speaker and calls me as she's coming home. She wanted to know if I got the picture of, let's see, I don't know if this is going to work. She wanted to know if I got the picture of the shawl that she's making. Is that going to work? Yeah. Gorgeous shades of ocean blue in a nice ombre. Goes from a real pale sky blue to a real deep teal. Um, I gave her the lace weight cotton yarn, and she's making herself a lacy shawl out of it. So it's really, really turning out gorgeous. She's been working 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. helping to coordinate evacuation of livestock from the burn areas. So she was calling to tell me that the shifts have been switched. She's now going to be working 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Because they were no longer getting a lot of calls in the middle of the night. So they don't need 24-hour coverage of the information lines. They still need 24-hour coverage at the evacuation center to check people in and assign stalls and paddocks and stuff. So, uh, um, yeah, so she no longer has to work overnight. So, yeah, sorry. More from my SeaWorld mug. Oh, that is good. That is that Chinese tea. All right, so what else have I been up to? I don't know if you remember, I've been playing with the yarn to see what I can do with it and testing a gauge and stuff like that, which is why I've got a chunk wrapped around the end here. Ripped out my gauge patches a couple of times. But this is the yarn that I got from Seta of Seta's Place. It is so sparkly. So sparkly. Anyhow, I figured out what I wanted to do with it, and I am busy writing a pattern up to see, now that I've got the gauge that I want and the knitting and all that, writing up the pattern and going to be making a long, narrow, crescent-shaped shawlette scarf kind of thingy. It's going to be long, about 5 feet long, a little over 5 feet long, and probably I'm thinking about 12 inches wide at the widest point, but it's going to taper down to about 4 inches on each end. So, kind of crescent shapes, sort of, maybe, kind of, whatever. Anyhow, hopefully it'll turn out. Hopefully I have enough yarn to do that with. If not, I've got a similar yarn in dark blue that that looks really well with it. It's a silk blend with the glitter in it, but it's the same weight, so I'll just have to be careful and wash it by hand. So anyhow, okay, yep, yeah, I think that was everything. I am so excited. I've only done the editing on, you'll see my daughter did it by sections so that she didn't have to carry the whole dang thing with her to work while she was sitting there manning the phones at 2 in the morning. She would read, and she didn't want to carry this, it's heavy, this whole thing with her. So, so she divided it up into sections, and I'm about halfway through the first section doing the edits, which means, oh gosh, if I can keep catching my breath and concentrate a little better, I will have it done just in time, so I need to get to that. All right, well, that's enough. Oh, maybe I'll read something. Let's see. Let me just pick a random section. Okay. This chapter's only 13 pages long. Okay. Let's just pick a random page. Well, it's in the middle of a conversation. Let's start somewhere else. There we go. So Reese is reading to the Lumos fairies. And she is reading Midsummer Night's Dream. And Sweet Maple, who is the patriarch of the Lumos fairy clan that lives in the garden, starts out with, "Ooh, my favoritist, liking this." He doesn't speak English very well, or what he calls English. Sweet Maple clapped his hands, but was quickly hushed by the other fairies. Reese read on in the dying light as the sun went down. Just as she thought it would be too dark to read outside any more, the exterior lights came on, and she continued. She had to lean a bit towards the door to catch the light, but not enough for her ribs to bother her too much. That was beautiful. Reese jumped at the unexpected voice, knocking the book and the pillow on which it rested to the floor. Mr. Fields! He raised one eyebrow and smiled. He looked so comfortable on the chair that she was sure he'd been there for quite some time. I mean, Thistle, you startled me. I'm sorry. He was one of us, you know. Shakespeare? Reese looked around. How did you... The um, veranda that she's on is on the second floor, and it's in a huge house with lots of staff, and so, yeah, that's why she wants to know how we got up there. Oh, I saw the note hidden in the drawing on your homework. I had to read it out loud, phonetically, to make any sense of it. I should have known you were cavorting with Lumos, Clara. You sent her to me, so she says, and Lucena, helped me write it. I didn't want anyone else finding out where I was. Very smart, and I recognized her in your drawing. Go on now. Scoot. Go, go. He shooed off the awestruck Lumos fairies as one would scatter stray cats. Only when he was sure they were all gone did he continue. I didn't intend to stay. I didn't intend for her to stay with you so long. She was supposed to just watch you for a few minutes, but they wouldn't let me back in to see you in the hospital. And when I was able to sneak in, you were asleep or had someone else in the room. I'm sorry. If I had known, I would have left someone more able to help you. She's a great help. The note? It was her idea. If it wasn't for her, I'd still be stuck in that awful county group home right now. But what I really meant was, how did you get up here? Prince leaned back on the chair. I flew. How else? When I didn't see you with the other girls, she's staying with Tishka at Tishka's house, and Tishka is having a party, a pool party. But Reese does not get along with one of Tishka's friends, so Reese is avoiding the party. So when I didn't see you with the other girls, I thought I might have to search the house room by room, and here I find you performing A Midsummer Night's Dream to an adoring throng of Lumos. He laughed, and the sound made Reese flush with joy. His voice was so dreamy, and it touched her heart, but his laughter reached her soul. Reese looked down at her bare feet, hoping it would shadow her face enough that he wouldn't see her face redden. You flew, of course. And you read Shakespeare to a share of fairies, and you still don't believe, do you? Reese took a few deep breaths while she decided what to say. Mr. Fields, or Prince Meadowlark, Thistle Meadow, she wasn't sure. Whoever he was, he sat patiently. Well, I'm still not sure my concussion wasn't worse than the doctor said. This all may just be a figment of my damaged brain. Well, if you hadn't snuck out of the hospital, you'd know you're fine. Yeah, if I hadn't snuck out, I'd be in Pelton Hall. That place is like a prison. They don't even let kids go to school. They have a teacher who comes in. I was there for a month between placements, and I am never going back there. I'm... Ugh. She snapped her mouth so hard that her teeth clacked. Quietly she finished, I'm just so tired of never having a say in anything in my life. I would never let I would never let them put you there. The laughter was gone from his voice. Reese still didn't look up. She swallowed hard. This is what she thought she wanted, a serious talk, but it almost hurt to have his usual smile missing from his voice. I heard my social worker talking. They were going to release me from the hospital and take me right there, with those girls. There's no stopping them once the judge has signed off on the order. The prince reached across to raise her chin. The smile was back in his voice when he quoted from the play she had just read. But we are spirits of another sort. We may affect this business yet ere today. All right. Well, that's enough of that because my throat can't handle anymore. So, yeah, that's Reese. The prince had told her, or actually, Lulu, the Lumos fairy, had told her that the prince said she is a fairy. Lulu says that she is, um, I think it was Lulu that says that she is the same clan that the prince is, clan of monarch, basically, monarch butterflies. They have monarch butterfly wings. Uh, so I got one more quick picture that I'm hoping that it will turn out. And then I'm going to have to stop for the day because I can't say another word. Come on, where is it? Let's go. Alrighty. There we go. I hope that's clear enough. That is my niece, the fairy. Yep, she's a fairy with monarch wings. The wings were painted by my sister. She put them up in the front of a butterfly garden that she installed in their local park. Put it up in front of the garden as a photo op. My brain is tired. Okay, so that is it for isolation protocol, whatever day I said it was. Uh, Catch you next time. Bye.